Hi there, this is Art and Such with a tutorial on how to make this lovely friendship bracelet using a friendship bracelet making wheel. And there are a lot of good brands out there. I know Alex's Toys is a popular one, and you can look for them online or in local craft stores. I'm using one I got at a secondhand store. It's the Style Me Up brand, and I fell in love with this right away. I think it's great. I'll tell you about this in a second, but let me just make a note. If you want to make one of your own, or you can't get a hold of one of these, you can get an evenly shaped circle out of foam, corkboard, something sturdy. Dig in 32 even notches around the edge and make a circular hole in the middle for your threads to go through. Now this particular setup, it comes with 2 discs, and each disc has 2 sides to it. And the thing is, every bracelet you'll see here, it's made the same way. You do the same steps, and it's really the same 2 steps. But the way your bracelet will turn out and the pattern you'll get is determined by where you lay your threads out. So these ones tell you, for example, on the purple one here, you'll see that the top 2 colors of threads are going to be the same. Whereas on the pink one, you're going to have 2 differently colored threads in that place. And if you go over to the side, you can see on the purple you have 2 different colors, and on the pink you'll have 2 of the same color. So the different colors you see here, and I'll walk you through these in other tutorials I hope, it just shows you where you're going to lay out your bands or your threads. So for this particular design for the flower, we're going to follow this set, and you're going to cut out your threads, and then I'll show you what to do next. So for your threads, the booklet this came with, it suggests that you cut each thread at 21 inches or 53 centimeters, but they can be a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, or a little longer according to what you want to make. And you want 9 threads of one color, and that's going to be like the purple you see here. It's going to be more of a background and fit between the flowers. So that's 9 of purple or another color. I'm going to use green in this case. You want 6 strands of the outside of your flower. So in my case, I used yellow here, and I'm going to use this kind of brown color this time. And the last thing you need is a single strand, which is for the center of your flower. So you're going to have a total of 3 colors. One color will have 9 threads, another color will have 6, and the last will have 1. And once they're all cut, you're going to tie it together. So to do that, I'm going to pinch the ends, roll the rest around my finger, take the end, and it's going to go up and through the hole. So I'm going to put it on top, and I'm going to roll the other threads over, give it a little tug, and just to make it really even, we can pull on some of these threads a couple at a time here. That usually does the trick at making it look a little neater. Now I'll tell you at this point, you have the option of anchoring this down with a safety pin, or I guess tape if you'd like. You can even, if you've tied your threads with a loop in them, if you doubled your threads over, you can loop it onto something or through something, but you don't have to do that. And if you want, I'll tell you, this does take a little bit of time. So if you want to have a sort of shorter section of your bracelet, you can start with the braid and finish with the braid. So now we can go to the wheel. And what I really like about these is it has one section that says Style Me Up, and there's a little arrow. So this can help you if you forget where you start, or I'll show you another tip for that later. So we are going to put the threads through, the knotted part goes through. You can hold that in the back, or again you can anchor it if you want. And in this case, you're welcome to label these with colors if it helps you. Our top 2 threads are going to be the color that you cut out 9 strands of. So in my case it's purple, and I'm going to put these just a little bit to the left. One will go to the left here because they're going to be moving right away, and it's okay. We just want to get it as close as we can to that space. The next one over, we have 1 thread of the color that we cut 6 threads of, and next to that we'll put another of one of your 9 thread background colors. My threads are already getting tangled. Okay, let's fix that up. It's the one problem with working with threads. How did that happen so quickly? Okay. So right now I'm just holding it at the back, and you can see some of my threads are already twisted over each other a little. You can straighten that even now. Just keep them in the right order. Okay, so again, the purple here represents the color, the threads that you've cut 6 of, and I'm going to put one of my browns there. If you want, you can even use the colors that are on. I know it's late, you've already cut it, but if you'd like, you can always use the colors that you see right marked on your thing. Now the next 2 are going to be of the color you have cut 9 threads of, so the one you have the most of. You can see my threads are a little bit loose and they're leaning to the side, but we're going to balance that out right away. It doesn't matter which order you put them in on, but you want to watch you're not overlapping too much. If I go back to the start and I go to the right here, I want to even my tension, it's 2 of your flower border color, so the ones you cut 6 strands of. And next to that you have your single flower inside color, and I'm using pink here. Let's push this over here. And the other one is going to be the brown. And then we have 1 tan and, I think that's right, hang on, I'll go back to the bottom here. Okay, 2 greens. And this should be, yes, 1 green and 1 tan. Let's get those all straightened out again. Green and 1 tan. I'm going to move these over to the side. And I think we're ready to start. So if anything is a little too tight or too loose, you can kind of tug it from the center or pull it out tighter to the side. You don't want these too tight, because then it's going to wreck your beautiful loom, but you also don't want it so loose that it's popping out. So you're going for a kind of a firm hold here. I'm just going to fix this other knot here, and then we can start. Okay, so the first couple of times you might want to hold on to your back piece, or again you have the option of anchoring it. And what we're going to do is you're going to go to the start, wherever that may be, and you're going to look at your semicircle, you're going to look at your strings, you're going to pick out the one on the right side, and you're going to bring it straight down, and you're looking for kind of like the matching set. So just show you again, we have straight down here. Let's twist these one more time. Okay. Yeah. So you can see if you go in a straight line, there are 2 threads underneath. You're going to take the right one on the top and bring it straight down to the right of the bottom 2. And now you have 1 on top, 3 on the bottom. You're going to count 2 to the left from the one you've brought down. And that one on the furthest left of those 3 is going to go up to the left of that single string you've got. And now all we do is repeat it over and over. So we're going to turn it to the side. You're going to look for your next set, and the set it lines up with. So if you did like a straight line, you would see other threads underneath. You bring the one from the right down, and it will come straight down to the right side of the bottom two. Count over 2, go to that third one on the left, grab the thread and go up. And we're going to start moving a little faster soon, but I'll just show you slowly one more time. You have your 2 threads. You're going to take the one on the right and bring it straight down to the right side of the opposing set, and take the piece on the left and bring it up to the left again. So we're going to go a little faster, and I'll give you a couple of pointers as we go here. Now this does start to move pretty quickly, but it takes a little bit of time to do as well, and that's okay. That's part of the process. It's kind of nice because you can relax where you do it. So you can watch TV or something. It becomes sort of mindless in a good way after a bit. So first tip here is when you want to set this aside, one really easy way to remember your place is to do a kind of a full cycle that ends with your single thread, like your single colored thread. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. I'm just going to keep coming around. A couple more times. 2 more times. One more time. Now, the next one I'm going to loop is right here. I'm going to be pulling these down. So I like to end a circuit, a cycle, with my single colored thread right sitting on the top. And that way if I put this down, I know I can just pick it up, turn it so the single color flower center is on the top, and then I can keep going from there. So that's one good way to remember this. Another good way that you can kind of keep track is if you have a loom like this one, or you've designed yours with a mark, you can have a mark that indicates the top part, and you can always stop when you get to that place and pick it up from there each time. And that's actually a really handy thing for some of the patterns that we do, because some of them aren't going to have that one single piece. Some of them are going to have a bunch of different colors or a lot of colors that are the same. So this is, oh, see, I picked the wrong one up, and I know it's the wrong one because now I have a gap. So let's put that back and go to the left. And there's another way. Oh, let me just tell you one more thing is, as you're going, what you want to do periodically is take your thread down and kind of pull it out the rest of the way. And what this does is it keeps it from getting lots of tangles. So we just keep going and going and going. And another thing you can do, let's say you're not at the start of a cycle and you've lost your place. And I sometimes like to even just keep my thumb on if I'm looking the other way, because then I can go back and see it again. But I'm going to show you another way to find where you're at here. I'm just going to get a couple of colors that are a little different. Okay, so let me show you what happens when I pull this down. It brings this thread over on top on the right side. And when I bring this one up, it brings it upwards on the left. So if you're ever really lost and you can't remember, you can look at the center and you can find the piece that's coming down on top, like the furthest one, the closest one to the top. And you can look for the one that's coming up and over on the left. And that will show you which set you did last. So I'm going to go a little faster. I'm going to go a couple more times, and then I can show you how this is looking. So hopefully we'll see the pattern emerging pretty soon. And if you ever, this kind of goes without saying, but if you ever accidentally slip something out, it pops out of place, just put it back. Look for where you're missing one out of a set of 2, or where you see a space between two threads where it shouldn't be. And I'm just going to make another note here before we have a look. And I'm going to stop here for the moment, which is that you can kind of see as we're going, the threads are moving over to the side. They're not on top of the semicircles anymore. And that's okay. That's good. It's supposed to be moving because you keep moving it to the side each time. So don't worry if it's not in the same place as before. Okay, so you can sort of see, we can sort of see the first part of this emerging of the pattern. I'm going to go around a couple more times. Let's go all the way back until the pink is on the top again. So I'm going to go all the way around. You can see, as I said, it does get to go a little bit faster. You're going to be a pro in no time. So I'm just going all the way around, top to bottom and bottom to top, until I get to the point again where my pink is the next one to be looped down, pulled down. Let's stretch some of these threads out as we go so they're not getting too tangly. You'll find it gets tangled more readily when it's I'll stretch this out a little bit so you can see. It does get tangled a little more easily when you're using longer strands. But you should be able to see by this point or pretty soon that the pattern is starting. And I'm going to ask you to pause. I'm going to take this aside and get this to the desired length. And then when you're ready, you can come back to this video and I will show you how to finish it off. We'll do that together. Alright, so I've added a little bit more to my bracelet, a lot more. This took me much of the day. And this is what she looks like. You can finish this off, like you can stop it at any point around the wheel. I just ended mine right before my pink again, but that's not too important. And when you're taking this off, you want to, what I'm going to do, and you can kind of feel this out yourself, but I'm going to pinch the bracelet on the back, turn it around, and carefully, slowly, just take the threads off. If you want, you can pinch it right in the middle, is also fine. But if your weaving is kind of tight enough, you shouldn't have anything coming apart here. You want to do this gently just so as to be careful on your loom. So when you take it out, you can see it holds its form very well here. And we're going to do the same thing we did at the beginning. So if you want to do a braid at this point, you can do that. If you're ready to just finish it off, you take the end, wrap it around your finger, and it's going to come on top and through the hole. You're going to slowly, carefully roll it down until the knot is sitting. So I'm pushing it this way, I'm pushing it up this way, so that your knot is sitting right underneath your last section of weaving. You can pull those threads a little tighter again if you'd like. And from here you can, again, you'll have that option again of braiding it, doing another knot, adding on beads, whatever you like. And you trim the thread at the desired length. I'll hold these up for you again. And that is how you make one of these friendship bracelet wheel macrame bracelets. Thank you for watching.